Hi there, I'm Hayley Miller from Redzone Realty. We're based out of Jacksonville, but we have quite a few locations across the United States and continuing to grow and franchise. We recently just made the switch to TotalBrokerage and we've really been enjoying it so far. Great system with great people behind it, and everything's been going really well. We opened in the last quarter of 2016. We were started by two former NFL players who they weren't originally from Jacksonville, but after playing for the Jaguars, they decided to lay their roots down here. When they really started ramping up, we grew from 7 agents to over 50 in less than a year. Before, we were having to juggle a couple of different programs to meet our needs. So we had to have the CRM, we had to have a separate accounting software, we had to have separate transaction management software. So being able to, for having one place for our agents to actually log in and accomplish all of their goals, just made it a little bit simpler and a little bit more streamlined as we continue to grow, and the scalability is there as well. As far as software goes, before we were using, when I first started, we were using a transaction desk. We just found that system to be a little too clunky. It didn't make things easy for the back office users, so people like me who's in the behind the scenes doing the compliance and that kind of thing. And then after that, we switched to RBO, which is Realty back office, in 2019, I believe it was, the beginning of 2019. It just wasn't strong enough there. It just was definitely lacking in usability and flexibility. And so that's kind of what prompted us to make the change. Our goal was to have one place shop for all of our agents. It's hard to train on a bunch of different platforms and say, oh, well, you use this for this and you use this for this. It's really nice that I can say, go to TotalBrokerage, go to TotalBrokerage. That's where it is. I do believe that there is cost savings there because we're not paying for one software that does our transaction management and then another software that does our CRM. With it being all in one platform, it's kind of like bulk savings is kind of how I would explain it. So yeah, that's been the greatest attribute since switching. ROI is definitely there. They're taking care of leads in ways that they weren't before. We, as a brokerage, are able to track our referrals to them even easier. So it really has streamlined things in a sense that I know that our agents are going to be able to grow and flourish using this platform. I can't say enough about how accommodating you guys have been. I know sometimes we're a little difficult because we have high expectations and ideas, and you guys have been nothing but patient and have really worked hard to implement some things that were like non-negotiables for us that we needed in our system, and we really appreciate that. I love that I can come to you guys with ideas, and you guys have implemented so many of them already, and I love every time I log into the system, there's like that little notification saying, hey, here's what we added today. So I love seeing the constant development and improvement to the system. You guys have been amazing to work with, and I love that when I call in or email in, I know exactly who I'm going to be talking to. It's not a machine. It's not anything like that. There's real people behind the system, which can't be said for a lot of things. And, you know, the difference is how productive do you want your agents to be? I mean, having that CRM and transaction management software all in one place that they can see at a glance is just going to make their lives so much easier. The texting that's built into the system, that was kind of like, wow, that could be a huge game changer for our agents, because any automation in my mind is good because it's going to take something off of our agent's plate.